Hey everybody. Okay. This is going to be a little something different again. I just did that 101 on transposing. This is going to be like a cross between a 101 and a lesson. It's both, if that makes any sense. What we're going to do is explore like the classic country type of playing, where the alternate picking and bass runs. You are kind of limited on the Merlin for going too crazy into it. Like on a guitar you can do a lot more, but you can do quite a bit on a Merlin. So I was just playing around. Let's get the angle. I'll move the coffee table out of the way. Alright. So I'm palm muting there just to try to emphasize alternate picking and bass runs, but you don't have to do that. So basically, we're going to be three chords, your D, your G, and your A. So we're going to start out the easier way with just barring them, and then we're going to change into the more open chords later on. So I just put a little, you can do whatever you want for the intro. Intro, outro, use it both for both. Make it nice and easy. So alternate picking is basically you hit your, I'm not going to say your bass note and then your go note higher, because you can use both, but it's just alternating between two notes and then strumming. It could be the bass note. You hit the bass note first and then you hit the next lowest note. But you can also do it in reverse. You can start with the second highest note and go to your lowest note. Both work, and I was told growing up that you should never change it. If you're going bass, second bass, or higher bass, you should never go. And then if you go to your next chord, change it and go second to low. But I do all the time, and you listen to a lot of those old country songs, so do they. It's out there, so I kind of don't believe that rule. So, that intro. So, hit your bass, and then you hit your middle, which will be your second lowest string. Bass, strum, it's kind of quick up and down. And then you hit your middle, same thing, up and down. Kind of that old Johnny Cash train thing. And if you want to throw a little Johnny Cash in there, your first fret on your low string, and then you do the same thing on your G. Back to your D. And then up to your A. Back to your D. So that's your alternate picking. Pick, up, down, or pick, down, up, pick, down, up. you can do the chords in any way you want. Okay, so now the time all together, you want to do your bass runs. And so you're in D, and then you want to walk up. So you basically open 1, 2, 3. You hit 3, 2, 1, open. To go up to the A, you start on a second, third, and you end up on a fourth. And then to work your way back, 4, 3, 2, open. It's just a repeat of how you walked up. Alright, now for that bass line, you're basically counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can add into that. You can double it up. And you still in the same time. You're still 1, 2, 3, 4. It's more now. It's 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that works. You can double them up. The one I like to do is you're doubling them up, but you're doubling them up with an open instead of the note. So. So you hit an open in between. So it's. I'm switching back between using my thumb to do it, just to show you that you don't have to just do like the traditional way. I use my thumb quite a bit on guitar. On the Merlin, I use it even more. You know, especially with that small neck, and it does help for reaching the further chords. I don't know. It's to each their own. It's one of those things. You know, I probably did it backwards when I started playing guitar. Like when I started playing guitar, I started using with 3 fingers and the thumb, and I never used my pinky. And it took me a long time to even be able to train my pinky a little bit on guitar to get it working more. And actually, since I've gotten a Merlin, it has changed so much. I use my pinky so much, and it is so trained now. And it's just, and I use all 5 fingers now instead of just using the 4 of them, 3, including the thumb, I should say, that I use on guitar. So that's your simplified bass runs, your double up bass runs, alternate picking. Now, like I said in past videos, I don't care for the bar chords as much as I do as the lower neck, more open chords. The more it rings, the longer the string, the more it rings, and the better it sounds. You know, this is my opinion, my preference, and I prefer to play as much as I can with open and low fret notes. That's just my opinion. So I want to use all that in when I do my bass runs, and you can, but this is where I was talking about. You should always go low to high, or high to low, and you should not mix them on your alternate picking, right? So low to high, and then high to low. And if you're doing one in one song, you're always supposed to stay with that one and not change it to the other. Bull. The best example of this is Tennessee Flat Top Box. When you're in the A, they're going high to low. And when they go to the E, they're going low to high. So it is done, you know, there's many examples out there, so I don't care about that rule. I said it twice now. Oh well. Okay, so alternate picking, bass runs, using the chords down at the bottom. So basically, you're doing the same thing. Like that run up to the A, that note and open is the same thing. So that's the same thing, you're just doing it in a different position. The G, well actually in the A you're going high to low instead of low to high. G is the same thing, you're going high to low again. So because instead of going, you're going, so basically you're 3, 1 open, and then open, 1 open. You're just letting off that third note on the low. And then the D, you can throw this in as well. Just as something a little different, you're doing a hammer on 3 to 4. So basically, you're playing the same note, you're just adding a little embellishment with a hammer on. See, I know this really is here and there and everywhere. We're covering quite a bit of stuff. I'm just giving you examples of everything. And you take it and you can pretty much listen to these old country songs and put it in there. Okay. So let's just go through the low chords slow here. And then another thing, just a little, I'm not saying everyone, but a good solid chunk of those old classic country songs, to end it, you kind of just repeat the last chord you went to. The turnaround chord is basically what I call it. In this case, it's the A. So you do the D, you do the G, back to the D, up to the A, back to the D, and then you go back up to the A. And then you use the intro for the outro. I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys. It's not meant to be a real lesson. It's more a 101 of how to incorporate this. Especially, I know I do a lot of the old country stuff. And I know a lot of my viewers, I know a lot of the Google Plus people do a lot of the old country stuff. So I figured I do a quick, well, not really a quick lesson. What are we at? 16:25. I do a lesson and just to kind of show you bass runs and alternative picking. And there is no set way of doing it. You know, it's basically alternate picking. You go up and down, or down or up, like we showed. The bass runs on the Merlin are limited. But on guitar, it's the same thing. You can go up to a chord or you can come down to a chord. There's no set thing. On the Merlin, you're a little bit more limited. So we'll stick with that. I know this is a cluster of a lesson, but we'll leave it at that. Practice patience, have fun. We will see you guys next time.